dignitaries on the dais, and dear audience, a very good afternoon to you all. Before I express my views on the topic given to me by the chairman ARC on indirect ophthalmoscopy with scleral depression for residents to do, I would just like to have a start it with the thing that post graduation is the time when residents learn the practice, imbibe, and follow it till life. And if I am not wrong, many of the previous speakers have already told that learning by doing is a better way to imbibe things. And it also becomes important for the teachers to tell them the best practice. And times are changing, and so is the surgical exposure of the residents. I got a very few number of cataract surgeries, but now as I ask the residents who have been passed out, they are overwhelmed saying that yes, the surgeries are increasing. So each surgery has a learning curve, and cataract surgery is not alien to it. Notable complications of cataract surgery include posterior capsular rupture with or without vitreous loss, retained lens fragment, pseudophakic retinal detachments, cystoid macular edema, and post-operative endophthalmitis. Even if the cataract surgery is uneventful, there are chances of acute PVD. And 10 to 15% of acute symptomatic PVD cases will develop a retinal tear. And when it is associated with vitreous hemorrhage, chances are as high as 70%. There was a study published in Ophthalmology in year 2007 which showed that if the patient is having a peripheral lattice degeneration, the chances of PVD are 87% as compared to 73% when there is no lattice degeneration. Apart from that, the patients who develop a retinal detachment after cataract surgery with lattice degeneration are 21% as compared to 0.7% in the normal eyes. So, if we are missing a lattice degeneration in a patient who is going to be operated for cataract surgery, we are exposing him to a risk of as high as 30 times as compared to the normal patient. Preferred practice, as has been mentioned, is indirect ophthalmoscopy combined with scleral depression. But why scleral depression? It is because areas near the pars plana and ora serrata can be examined clearly. Apart from that, it enhances contrast between a retinal lesion and the surrounding retinal tissue. Retinal lesions that are not well defined, for example, suspected retinal holes, tears, or vitreoretinal adhesions, are examined with ease. As you can see here, in this cystic retinal tuft is becoming more evident with scleral depression. Apart from that, there are lawsuits also in the states by the name of, in the company of Ophthalmic Mutual Insurance Company, and this is a company of San Francisco in which the last 7 years of data till 2014 showed that there were 1,613 ophthalmic malpractices claims, and out of them 14% were of diagnostic errors. And of these 233 patients, 84 patients were having retinal problems of retina, and 65 patients they were having a retinal detachment. So, I would just like to question, is a cataract surgery performed in a case of stye or dacrocystitis? Is cataract surgery performed in a case of acute angle closure immediately or acute uveitis? No. Then why should it be performed in a patient with a lattice degeneration or any treatable peripheral lesion without getting it lasered? So I would like to thank my team of CL Gupta Institute for giving me their inputs regarding this presentation. Thank you.